Madness. And the movie I'm going to talk about tonight, well, the one I'm going to talk about tonight is a brand new release from SOE Horror. And it is the one, the only, the legendary Blood Dancers. Now, as usual, I'll put a better look of the cover on screen. This cover art was done by Billy Infinity, and if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you should know him by name. If you are a member of the B Movie Madness Facebook group, you should know him by name. He's done artwork for several SLV horror releases, including I Was a Teenage Gorehound, Variant, Dead Time Tales, Misty Darkness, and of course Blood Dancers. Pretty cool art, really sums up the movie perfectly. This is the kind of thing, like if I saw this on a videotape or a VHS box when I was a kid, I would have rented this movie because it looks awesome. But yeah, great artwork. And as usual, I'll have a better look on screen. I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry for that. But before I get into the review itself, what is Blood Dancers about? Well, Blood Dancers is about Cherokee, a waitress at a local topless bar who wants to become a dancer and earn some extra cash. The problem is the gals who work at this club are not your average strippers. In reality, they are a horde of blood-sucking vampires with a thirst for human blood. When Cherokee is taken captive by the vampire vixens, it is up to her friends Vic and Lorna to save her from a fate worse than death. Now, with every movie that I review for the channel, the thing that I just want the most from it is to enjoy the movie and give it a good, honest review. With a movie called Blood Dancers, all I wanted was some cheap thrills. You know, some blood, some boobs, vampire strippers. That's all I wanted out of it. But this movie right here, this movie is very sneaky because although I got those cheap thrills, this movie ended up being a legitimately good micro-budgeted vampire movie. And I was not expecting that at all. I was totally taken by surprise at this movie. At the end of it, I just sat there like, that was actually pretty damn good. You know, I wasn't expecting that because I got my cheap thrills. I got my blood, I got my boobs. This movie has a lot of blood and has a lot of boobs. It delivers those two things. But it's actually just a really well-made, well-acted little vampire movie. And I was really just, I couldn't believe that. First off, I actually really like the story of it. It's a very fast-paced story. The characters are likable. There are some really interesting plot points in it that I was not expecting. I have never heard of this in another vampire movie before. I've never seen this or I've heard of this in another vampire movie or story before. But there's this thing where if there's a knot in a rope, a vampire has to untie it to order to get loose. And there's a vampire in this movie that's trapped behind a wall, brick wall, and there's like a million knots, and they have to undo the knots before they can get loose. I've never heard of that in another vampire movie before. So if you have heard of this, let me know down below if it was in another vampire story, TV show, movie. But I thought that was a really cool plot point. I've watched a million vampire movies, and I do not ever remember hearing that before. And if I find out it's been in one I've seen before, I'm just going to just shake my head in disappointment because I've never heard of it done before. But it was actually really cool. The acting in this one, the acting all around is actually pretty good. The lead actress in this movie, Elizabeth Hayden Grace, who plays Cherokee, she did a really good job playing the naive girl who wants to be a dancer who gets taken captive by vampires. But the MVPs of this movie, there's three of them. They're MVPs. The first off is Amy Wolf, who plays like the head vampire, or she thinks she's the head vampire, Elise. She was drop dead gorgeous, beautiful beyond words, and easily the best breasts in the movie. She had the best set of boobs in this movie. She was just absolutely gorgeous even when she was in vampire mode, especially when she's hovering above Cherokee on the bed and getting some lesbian vampire action, which this movie does have some of that, so look forward to that. But she did a good job. She was a good villain. The other MVP is Matt Southwell, who played the pizza guy, Vic. He probably has the best line delivery of the movie. He delivers his lines really, really, really stinking good. He comes across as a very professional actor, and I'm sure everybody in this movie was a professional actor. But him more than the others seemed more like, like he had some, a resume, and he's been doing this for a while. And I haven't looked up his IMDb, but he did a really good job. I thought his line delivery was good, and his chemistry with Teresa Sciortino, I'm butchering that, who plays Cherokee's friend Lorna. her chemistry with him was really well done. They end up becoming like I guess a couple in the movie. They have sex, whatever, and they just play off each other really well. And just every scene with those two together was perfection. And now you got a good villain, you got likable characters. What about the blood and the boobs? Although there is not a shit ton of effects in this movie, makeup effects, there is plenty to go around. There is a lot of blood. There's bite marks, there's stakings, a foot gets ripped off. So you get plenty of blood. And because it's vampire strippers, you get plenty of boobs. And like I said, Amy Wolf had the best set of breasts in this movie. She did a really good job. She's just gorgeous, man. Seriously, one of the sexiest vampire vixens I've ever seen in a movie. She's that good looking. The thing that really took me by surprise the most is this movie, despite being shot on video, legitimately looked really good. You can tell that there's a lot of care that went into the lighting of this and how things overall looked. There's some scenes that had like a dreamlike quality to it, and there's shots that are really well done, such as when um, Amy Wolf's character is above the bed, floating above the bed, above Cherokee. That was a really cool shot, and there's other shots where she's moving otherworldly. I thought that was actually really well done as well. And like I said, there's these really cool dreamlike shots throughout the movie, especially in the first two acts of the movie. The very beginning, and there's a shot towards the middle that looks really, really well done. For an SOV movie, they did put a lot of TLC into it. So I appreciate, me as a viewer, I really appreciate the effort. I know some people will probably look at this like, snobby critics and be like, oh, it's so low budget. I really appreciated the fact that they did a lot with very, very little. With it being a shot on video movie, of course it's going to be rough around the edges, but that's part of the charm of these movies. Plus, you can see the absolute passion that was put into the making of this movie, from the directing to the writing to the camera work to the acting, etc. You can tell the person who made this movie, or the people who made this movie, absolutely loved what they were doing. And in my opinion, they made a well-made but cheesy, fun vampire movie. And at the end of the day, all I wanted from this movie was some blood and boobs, and I got a little bit more than that. And for that, I appreciate everybody who was involved in this movie for making a really fun project. And I got to thank Tony Marcella for providing me with a copy to review, because this was one hell of a good time. Now, do I recommend it? If you can't tell, yes, I absolutely recommend it. If you're an SOV fan, you gotta have it. If you're a vampire fan, I would recommend giving it a shot. And if you're just a hardcore horror fan, definitely. Your collection is missing this movie. So yes, highly, highly recommended. Now, as for extras, there's an interview with director of photography Vincent Blanchio, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He also directed Killers Eroticus, which I reviewed all the way back in January, which I can't believe was that long ago. And this interview takes place in the same kitchen that was on that disc. It's a 15-minute interview, and he goes into depth about the budget of the movie, how long it took it long to film, was there any drama on set, how he shot things. It's really a simple and to the point interview, but it's really, except for the behind-the-scenes gallery, it's the only behind-the-scenes thing on this disc. Sadly, there's no commentary track, and there's nothing from the director. I don't know if he passed away or not, but I would like to hear from him. But, I'll have to look that up when I'm done. Other than that, there's behind-the-scenes stills gallery. There's a trailer for it. There's the SOV Horror Trailer Vault, which has just a group of trailers that's on every release. There's also alternate artwork, which is the non-Billy Infinity artwork. Pretty cool, simple and to the point. I like Billy's a little bit more, but it's my personal opinion. And of course, there's the disc art, which I will try. There we go. Looks pretty cool. As for any future reviews, I will be working on Little Cory Gory real soon. I got a lot to do with that one, and I will be hopefully reviewing the final two SOV horror releases. Yes, the final two. It's gonna be sad, but I'm looking forward to talking about them. So, if you like my channel, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, comment down below. What's your favorite vampire movie? What's your favorite low-budget vampire movie? Or just in general, what's your favorite vampire movie? Mine's The Lost Boys. I also really like King of the Vampire, which is an SOV. But That's it for now. I'm Jonathan Knight. It's been Beat Movie Madness. Thanks for watching.